And a developing story tonight, a woman from Van Buren County will soon stand trial for a second time. Linda Stermer was convicted of killing her husband roughly 20 years ago and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
But then 9 years into that sentence, a ruling by a federal judge allowed her to be freed pending a new trial. And that new trial finally begins tomorrow. News Channel 3's Princess Johnny Steverson is joining us live in studio. And Princess, there is a lot of history to this case.
There is, Andy, and News Channel 3 has been covering it since it first happened. While Stermer is out of jail right now, that could all change with this retrial, and it will be up to a jury to decide what truly happened that day.
This is the Lawrence, Michigan scene where Todd Stermer died on January 7th, 2007. The torched family home belonging to Todd, his wife Linda Stermer, and their 3 boys.
I have been blessed with an incredible family.
According to investigators, Todd was murdered by Linda. She was accused and convicted by a jury for his death 3 years later in January of 2010. Linda got life in prison without the possibility of parole, but in December of 2018, she walked out of prison as a temporarily free woman. We spoke to her then as she made her way out of this federal courthouse.
And I know there's a lot of pain on my husband's side of the family, but they shouldn't have to suffer with not just the pain of losing someone, but the pain of thinking that he was murdered in such a horrific way.
Investigators accused Linda of beating Todd, setting him and their house on fire, and then running him over with their family van once he ran out of the house. According to this U.S. Court of Appeals document, Todd's autopsy, quote, found the cause of death to be a combination of burns and smoke inhalation. Additionally, the doctor found, quote, blunt force injuries to Todd's head, but could not say if these injuries were caused by him being struck by an object multiple times, being struck by a vehicle, or both.
It took the jury very little time to decide unanimously that she was guilty. I think they got it right.
Todd's sister, Kelly Stermer, told us in February of 2020 there's no doubt in her mind Linda killed her brother. She expressed her frustration after Linda's release and after a popular true crime series, 48 Hours, debuted a piece on Todd highlighting things like money problems and cases of arson against him.
It was arson, but it was found to be somebody else who had done it. It was somebody who was living in the area, and there had been multiple fires in the area of abandoned kind of buildings.
A federal judge set Linda free by granting her a release on a $10,000 bond and a conditional writ of habeas corpus. It's a legal order that requires law officials to justify detention. This came after the court said Linda's rights were violated when her then attorney, now current Kalamazoo County prosecutor Jeff Getting, failed to effectively challenge key evidence among other issues in the trial.
I just felt a responsibility to vindicate my family, not just myself, but my family.
I tried reaching out to Linda's current defense attorney for comment, but was unable to get a response. Again, the new trial begins tomorrow, and we'll have a crew there for live updates. You'll be able to find those on air and online at WWMT.com. Reporting live in studio, Princess Johnny Steverson, News Channel 3.